Hi guys, it's Vanessa. I'm here doing a splurge versus steal. This splurge versus steal, I swear to God, is cursed because this is like the third or fourth time I've tried to record it. One time I accidentally deleted the video. The second time I kept getting interrupted, so it was like completely uneditable. And then just now when I was doing it, I had a mishap that made one side is like less blended than the other. Plus I dropped the shadows and one of them like kind of cracked. It didn't completely break, but it's like, what the heck? And now my eyes feel a little irritated. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad and we can just move past that and do it. So this look today is, if you can't tell by my headband, my jacked up hair, and my little earrings. And if you can't tell by that, this will tell you kind of what the inspiration for this look was. St. Patrick's Day. I love St. Patrick's Day. It's my favorite holiday. Green is my favorite color, so I'm not Irish in any way, but specifically because there's so much green around, and I love beer and I love green, and green beer is a match made in heaven. So St. Patrick's Day is my favorite holiday, and I wanted to get this out before yesterday because this is kind of the weekend in Chicago that people would have gone out for St. Patrick's Day to celebrate. But St. Patrick's Day is next week. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. So I still figured it would be good. And even this isn't like, I just broke my little thing. But this isn't like overtly St. Patrick's Day either, because it's not just all green. There is some blue in there. It is outrageous either way, but I figured that this look was the best way to show the colors. So that is that. So let me get up close and take off my glasses. So what we have is a green and some navies. We have a little bit of white in the inner corners going into green, and then navy on the outer and in the crease. With the bright highlight, we have a peachy cheek and like a corally lip, and there is a little difference and I'll talk about that later. So let's get started on the eyes. The first thing I did is my splurge recommendation, and I laid down this Inglot, they're called the AMC eyeliner gel, and this one is in number 85. Mine is a little crazy looking because I purchased it and it was dried out, but since the store's only in New York, I couldn't return it, so I tried to revive it with some Fix Plus, but I won't even swatch it because it's a mess, but that's what it looks like. Very true to color, what you're seeing. So it's just a really bright green. This one was a dud, but I still recommend it because I own another one, and I love it. They're just the silkiest, creamiest, smoothest, you know, like all gel liners. Just a really great gel liner. So I put that all over my lid underneath, just from like lash line up into, not into the crease, but up to the crease. So then on the high inside of my face, what I did was I went in all over the lid with a matte, kind of Kelly green eyeshadow, I guess you would say. This is MAC's Newly Minted. So that is what it looks like. It's just like a really matte, I think it's in their matte squared. Really matte, kind of very St. Patrick's Day-ish green. I'll do a swatch. That's the swatch right there for that one. So just with the regular shader brush, patted that all over the crease, or all over the lid, I'm sorry. And then on the low inside of my face, what I used is this that I'm really excited about, is the Wet n Wild Pride. It's not a quad, I don't know what this is called, but there's 6 colors in it. And obviously, you'll know right away that all the colors I use come from just this one quad, so it's pretty awesome. So I used the second color here, which is kind of in the same veining as the Newly Minted. I'll show them side by side. Don't be distracted by my disgusting nails. So there they are side by side. Very similar colors. I will swatch it. There are the swatches next to each other. I think that like the Wet n Wild one is a little bit of a lighter in shade, but on the eye you would be none the wiser. The texture of them is very similar. Wet n Wild really outdid themselves with these new shadows. It's very similar texture. They both have a lot of fallout because matte squared finish from MAC, even the matte one, is a little bit more not powdery. It just has a little bit more fallout than like a frost shadow would or something. But both are very pigmented, both go on very nice, both are very easy to blend. So I think it's a really great dupe, and I love it so much. So I did that all over. And then in like the inner third of the eye, I patted some white just to kind of brighten it up. You could, if you wanted it to just be white, you wouldn't have put the green on the inner corners. But I wanted it just to look more like a softer green going into the green. So on the high-end side of my face, I used MAC's Gesso, whatever you want to call it. And it is just a matte white shadow. And that is it right there. Nothing fancy to it, just a matte white shadow. I'll do a swatch. And again, I think matte shadows, everyone knows, they're like in the $14 range. So that is that right there, just matte white. And then on the low inside of my face, again, I went to my trusty, I don't know what these are called, the ColorIcon palette in Pride. And I use this color up here, which is a frosty white, or a matte white, I'm sorry. And I will swatch it next to it so you can see. There they are next to each other. So really, you know, it's just a matte white, but it's still a great quality. Is this one? It feels the same as the Gesso, whatever. It feels the same as the MAC one, and it does the job, and it gets you the look. So that's what we like. So then, in between, like where they met, like in the center of the eye, I just used a shimmery kind of mossy green color just to even them out. Just to help with the blending. It's kind of easier to do than trying to blend them. So what I used on the high-end side of my face is MAC's Shimmermoss eyeshadow, one of my favorites. This is really pretty. It's not quite an emerald, not quite a forest, not quite a moss. It's like a deep moss. It's very pretty, and I will swatch it for you. So that is right there. That is the Shimmermoss. So then on the low inside of my face, I went in again with this beautiful palette, and I used the green on the shimmer side. If you don't know, on this palette, one side is all matte, the other side is shimmer. So I used the green on the shimmer side right there, and I will swatch it next to the Shimmermoss so you can see it. It's this set of greens right there. Sorry. So yeah, very similar in color. I love it. On the eyes, you really can't tell, so it's great. So then after that, I took a fluffy dome brush and I went into the crease very lightly with a shimmery navy color. And on the high-end side of my face, I used Deep Truth, which is a MAC staple favorite. Everybody likes it. It's a great shimmery navy color. And I will do a swatch for you. There it is right there. Really pretty color, very like lots of dimension to it because of the shimmer and stuff. So on the low inside of my face, again, my handy dandy ColorOn palette in Pride, and I just used the shimmery blue down below. And I will swatch it for you. And that one's very pigmented. I didn't even have to really go back into it. So there they are and how they compare to each other. I mean, it's just, I personally think a really great palette. I love Wet n Wild, but I think that they really stepped up their game with ColorOn palettes, and I couldn't be happier because that just makes makeup more accessible to the world, and that is what we like. So then I just took like a short nubby brush, and on the outer ones I just darkened it with a matte navy color just to add dimension, a little bit of darkness to the look. This color, I have to annotate it. It is just a matte navy from MAC. It came out with the Naughty Nauticals collection, but I don't know the names, so I'll annotate it. And I don't know if it's a permanent color, but if it's not, it's okay because you have a dupe for it. I mean, and even if it's not, it's honestly, it's just a matte navy, which to me is like the most dupeable of colors in the world. So that's it right there. It's very faint. There's no primer on my hand, by the way. These are just the colors on my bare skin. Again, beautiful ColorOn Pride palette, and I used this flat navy right there. And I will swatch it next to the MAC one. Now, the navy on the MAC side is a little bit more purple, and the one from the Wet n Wild is more of a true navy, and it is definitely much more pigmented. So that's cool. So that's for the shadows. Again, all the dupe ones are from this Wet n Wild ColorIcon palette in Pride. It is a fantastic palette. They have 2 other colors, like color families. I think one's more on the neutral side, and I think one is purpley. But I don't know. Even those are chock full of MAC dupes. The quality is really good. This is under $5, and you get all of these shadows, and it's really awesome. So I definitely recommend picking that up for sure. So then I lined my eyes. Let's see if I can get in here. They're really messy right now. I'm sorry. So I just used a black, like one of those marker kind of felt tip liners for it. On the high end side, I used my Calvin Klein Electric Edge liquid eyeliner in, what color is this in? Electric Black. And it's just a black liner, nothing fancy to it. It's got a felt tip. I'll draw a line for you if you'd like. There it is right there. It's just really easy to do because it's just like a marker, so it's a little steadier than like a liquid pencil or like a liner brush or whatever. On the low end side of my face, I used the Jordana Fabuliner in, I think it's just black. Yes, in 01 Black. Same kind of thing. And I will do a line. It's even darker than the Calvin Klein one, and I love this one. It's really great. It's under $2 at the drugstore. I think it's exactly $2 or something like that, but they're very similar. They're like the exact same packaging, exact same product, so it's a great splurge versus steal right there. And then in the waterline, I just lined my eyes with a blackened teal color. On the high end side of my face, I used MAC's Mystery Kohl eye pencil. I do not know if this is still available. On the screen, it's probably just going to come out black. It's that line right there. It's probably just going to come out black, but it does have like a teal like overlay to it. I don't know if maybe you could see it on the pencil. But it's really a beautiful color. It's one of my favorites. A little smudgy because it's a kohl, but we all know about that. So on the low end side of my face, I am using Milani's Black Magic Liner and Eye Glimmer. And this one is in the blackened teal, I believe is what it's called, or Teal Magic. But I'm using the black and teal side. And that's there, right under there. It probably just looks black to you, but it is, again, that same black and teal thing going. And then I just took this side of it, which is just a glittery side. There you go. And I just did it on both the sides underneath. So then for mascara, let me get in close. I don't know if you could tell the difference, but for mascara, I just use my Max Factor 2000 Calorie Extreme. I'm not just recommending Max Factor for my steal recommendation for this video. What I am recommending is all drugstore mascara. I think drugstore mascara is really great. They're always trying to come out with things that compare to the high end. So I think that it's definitely something that you shouldn't close your mind to. You could find a really great mascara in drugstores. For the longest, I wouldn't even buy high-end mascara because I felt the drugstore ones were equally comparable. And if you are a stickler for the throwing out your mascaras in the 2 to 3 month frame that is recommended, I definitely recommend drugstore mascara for you because it's going to be much more affordable option to do that. So yes. Next, we're moving on the cheeks. I try to go in heavier on it than usual so you guys can see. So if I'm looking a little clown-like, I wouldn't normally wear it. It was just for you. On the high end side of my face, I'm using, it's not even a blush at all. It's actually a MAC Pro item, and it is the Paint Stick in Dusty Coral. I love this thing. I got mine at the CCO, but it's available at MAC Pro stores and the MAC Pro website. Now, normally what I would say about MAC Pro that I know a lot of people say on here is that you don't have to be a member. You just have to call the 1-800 number on the website. However, last week I did try to order something from there, and they told me that I had to be a MAC Pro member to order through the 1-800 number. So I don't know if I just had a bad customer service experience or if this is the new way that MAC is doing it, but I will say your best bet is to probably just go to a MAC Pro store or a CCO. They sometimes carry some MAC Pro items. So this is a CCO find. It looks like this, and I'll do a swatch. I guess I will move on to this hand. This is just like a That's like a really thick version of it. But this is just like a multi-purpose paint stick. It's really intended for body painting. That's why it's at the Mac Pro store. But it works as a great cream blush, as a good base for any of your blushes, as a good cream blush on its own. This sucker will not move the whole day. And I just dotted it on and then I blended it out quickly because it doesn't set per se, but you do need to work a little fast with it. With a dual fiber brush, and it is a dream. I love this product. If you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it. They also have like a pink one, and so there's ones that you could play with the different, you know, colors depending on the kind of blush you prefer. Love it. So that is on the high end side of my face. On the low end side of my face, I have a drugstore, I think it is, but not in the US. So I do apologize for that. I was sent this by Chef Kathy from Taiwan, and it's the Canmake Cream Cheek Blusher. And it's beautiful corally color. This one is in, I'm guessing, 05. That's what it looks like. So I think, yeah. I love this stuff. Also stays on all day. Like, totally awesome. And it's in that same kind of peachy veining. This one I think is more on the pink side than the dusty coral. And you can see right there, you could tell the difference. But on the cheeks again, none the wiser. You still just get this nice little coral flush to your cheeks. Stays on all day. I don't know the price of this. If I find a place where you could get it from the US, I'll put it. But I just thought I'd throw something in. I do have international viewers. Something I've been doing a little bit more lately. Because, you know, they deserve deals too. So that's that. Next, we are going to move on and do the lips. And you know what happens when it's time for the lips. It's my favorite time. Glasses time. You do a little dance every time because I like vision and I like to see you guys. Okay, so on my lips, I have on the high-end side of my face, I have from the Liberty of London MAC collection Ever Hip Cream Sheen. And it's just this really pretty kind of pinky coral pale color. And it's just really nice. It looks really great on the lips. But it's really light. It's actually on this side of my face. You can see the difference on the lips. It's lighter than the one I'm going to recommend, but I'll explain why. So I'll do the swatch of this. This is limited edition. It's that one right there, and it's really pretty. Now, it's really just, it feels great on the lips, hugs your lips really nice, and it has a nice shine, which is why on the low end side, I put on the Naughty by, who makes this? Flirt Cosmetics. Now, Flirt Cosmetics is a division of Estee Lauder. So they, you know, are the same people who make MAC, who make Estee Lauder, who make Bobbi Brown and all that stuff. But they are available at JCPenney, and they're really great products, and they're chock full of dupes, that line. So I definitely recommend it. So you can tell right away that this is going to be darker. So you're probably like, why is this a splurge versus steal? And I'm basing it more on the finish and the type of color it is. This is also kind of like a coral that's, I wouldn't call it a true coral. It has like a little bit of a deeper pink veining to it. It's the darker one right there. But they're both very high shine. They both feel the same on the lips. And they're both really nice and pretty with this look. Either way, I think it would have worked out. And obviously, if you weren't wearing it like this, I don't think people would notice the difference if you were trying to replicate, you know, a high-end look with low-end. So, yeah. But that is my splurge versus steal for St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully, I can edit it. I didn't realize it was this long. If I can't, I so apologize. And I hope you guys have a good St. Patrick's Day. Don't drink too much green beer. And that's it. If you are really Irish, yay, but everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a happy and lovely Sunday. Bye.